Welcome to Total Fitheads.
Serious fitness for not so serious people.
Uh,
Should I leave that in?
Oh boy.
I know. That was Max for everyone listening on audio. How rude of you to start the podcast with that.
With a burp. Belch. People who say belch are weird, huh?
No, they're just old. I mean, I guess if you're saying all weird people or all old people are weird.
Right. What's the overlap there?
Shout out mom super early.
First thing. Wow.
So, but what am I saying? Is she weird or old?
Neither.
Only at heart. Is she both? So
How we doing?
it's an early one for us. We're just off.
We're just getting settled.
My burp was just one sip of coffee, so this will be interesting. And
you're going iced coffee. It's cold outside.
No, this is a hot coffee in an iced coffee glass.
But you're holding it with your hands.
Yeah, because my hands are also cold.
So how hot is your hot coffee?
It's fall.
It's like 120.
It's a sauna. You're fine. I'm actually fighting off Alzheimer's by holding this.
Smart. I had a friend of mine at work. She used to, when we go to Starbucks, she would have her very long, convoluted, complicated Starbucks order, and at the end of it would be 135. And I was like, what does that mean? Like, I know what grande means, and I know what no foam means, and I know what, oat milk, triple chai, whatever, 2 pumps of whatever. But then at the end she goes 135, and I'm like, what does that mean? She goes, oh, that's the temperature that I prefer it at. And I'm like, whoa. I didn't even know A, you could do that, and B, whoa, why? How do you know that? What is it about that temperature that you like? What are you talking about? Who are you?
Try 136.
I had so many questions, and she was like, 135 is like hot but not scalding, so basically you can just chug it. Which is also like indicative of her caffeine coffee intake, which I thought was very funny. But
so it's functional too. That's why she's using that number.
But I also think that Starbucks basically only has it. I don't think Starbucks can do like 138 or like 142. I think they're like, this is our regular super hot, or you can get it like not that hot, and that's 135.
Yeah, that's like the grande temp.
Right.
Yeah. Then T temp.
Because now I have this mug that I do actually track the temperature on.
Did you get that at VidCon?
No.
Oh no. Okay.
No.
I have a water bottle that tells you the temp. The future sucks.
Cold.
You got to charge your water bottle.
Yeah, it's absurd. But the hot coffee mug is awesome because it keeps my coffee hot the whole time. Because like I always used to, I never realized how much I disliked lukewarm coffee. And 135 is like the lowest that it's still good. I prefer mine at 145 now, which is like you can sip it, but it's like, like you can't really drink it.
That's what you like.
Now I like,
and you can put a temperature on the mug.
Yeah. You can set it to whatever you want.
You got that mug as a gift, did you not?
I got it as a gift.
Yeah. That mug was invented to be a gift.
100%. I think it's not scrolling. I'm not. It's hard to do this upside down. Oh yeah, you can see it's at the bottom.
The mug right now. Is it just heating up in your cupboard?
No, it's right here.
Okay.
It looks like a regular mug. It's hot.
The Christmas that came out, my mom reference again, got my sister-in-law one, which was so thoughtful and very targeted towards her personality. And my sister-in-law got my mom one.
Perfect. It's a really good gift because it's a little too expensive to buy for yourself. You're like, this is useless. Stupid. I can't. I cannot justify spending this much money on a mug. This is the dumbest thing in the world. Except for, and I hate to say it because it's not sponsored, but it is awesome. and I
You're
love
so
it.
pampered.
And I don't use it's the only mug I use now.
Really?
Yeah, for like by far, or not by far, completely. And I got it from my friend for his birthday, and he said the same thing. He was like, I thought it was stupid. It's the only mug I use now. I love it. Because
Wow.
and now I don't chug my coffee anymore, because I used to really chug it because I wanted to drink it when it was hot and delicious, and not when it was like lukewarm and kind of gross.
Hmm.
And now when I go to diners and stuff and I get coffee, like I'm so disappointed. Like I almost want to bring my own mug, because she's
Oh,
and that's also I figured out why when they're like when the diner waitress is like more coffee on, you're always like, yeah, please, because you
yeah.
want it to
Heat it
heat
up.
up from the
Then you lose track of how
hot
much caffeine
pot,
you've had. And then
and
you
then you're
love
all
that diner.
right, and then you're
And that's how they
jittery.
get you to come back.
And you're like, why did I cut my steak into 37 pieces? Like it's
Really wish it was my auto knife, though. I should have brought it from
I
home.
know I didn't charge it though. I will say I broke my mug, and I bought myself a replacement. That was embarrassing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you
And
switch the
and the
colors at
reason
least?
the reason I broke the mug was because I wasn't used to having such an awesome mug, because I would have coffee, it would get cold, and then I'd microwave it again for like, you don't really need to do it 15 seconds, 10 seconds. But I also heard that that's really bad for your coffee, and I don't know. Who knows? I mean, I don't know if it's bad, like it's going to give you a life-threatening disease, or bad because it's going to jeopardize
It
the
tastes like
integrity
crap.
of the palate of the coffee or whatever.
Can confirm this was microwaved and it's not good.
Yeah. So, but I used to microwave it all the time because I wouldn't drink it fast enough and it would cool down. And so then one morning when I'm in a caffeine less stupor, I'm just sort of like half awake, blah, blah, blah. I take my electronic mug, throw it in the microwave for 15
Oh
seconds. And
no.
then
15 seconds.
as soon as I push start, I'm like, oh wait. And then it had already like almost exploded, burned my building down, like burned the entire block down. So yeah, that was kind of embarrassing. And so then I was like, I broke it. I guess it's been a good run. I better get a replacement.
And then you use your friend's affiliate code who you got a gift from.
Honestly, what I did was, I felt like this was a fair compromise internally, emotionally, was I went on like Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist or something, and I got a used one. And it was
You put your mouth on that.
I mean, I washed it, obviously. You wash it.
I guess.
And
I've
it
used
was
Goodwill plates.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I got a pint glass from a garage sale, you know what I mean?
Oh wait, when you go to that diner, that's somebody has put their
Right.
mouth on it. Okay, fine.
That's a lot of people, a lot of somebody's.
You last week.
Right. I wrote my name on it. And so I have a replacement, and it's the battery, it has its own battery, so it doesn't, and the battery on the new generation lasts a really long time. The battery on the previous generation doesn't last that long. It's like an iPhone. I don't know if they bricked it on purpose, but that's just how it is. And so now if you put it in the saucer, that's how you charge it.
Mm-hmm.
Let me show you this without like. So this plugs in. See how there's two little. Let's get the logo out of the way, but yeah. And so now I have saucers all over the place.
This is just an ad. You have saucers all over the house.
So I just like, I like place it down in like strategic.
Yeah. That's cool.
But it's it was one of those ones where I'm like, this is stupid. This is so bougie. It's like the mattress.
I know. Now I don't want to go to hotels, just like you don't want to go to diners.
Right. Or I want to bring my own bed to a hotel, or I want to bring my own mattress or mug to a diner. Yeah. But that's pretty dumb, pretty low. Bringing your own mug. Or is that or is it going to be like when I hit like 65, 70 and I just stop caring about everything, then I'll just bring my own mug everywhere.
Sure. I'm surprised it's going to take that long for you. I'm very close.
Yeah. Good for you.
Oh, thanks. The problem with buying a battery thing secondhand that you never know if someone took care of the battery.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know if I took care of the battery, frankly. I don't like they say you're not really supposed to charge your phone from 60 to 100 a lot. You're supposed to let it go all the way down to 0 and then back all the way up to 100
And
and
I've heard the opposite. You're supposed to just top it off. It depends on the type of battery and it's
right.
all
Who
size
knows?
and it's going to start sucking. Are you getting a titanium?
I don't think so. I've seen all these videos of them just like shattering in people's
Snapping them in
hands.
half.
And I'm like,
I
I already am
know.
pretty rough with my phone. I don't know if I
Yeah.
should have any more problems. I told you I dropped my phone the other day and just completely smashed it and I had no idea. And I was at the Apple store and then for like a different reason. And I was like, and they were like, all right, that's good. Good Genius
That's
Bar,
like
whatever. And I'm
breaking
like,
your leg at
ow,
the
what is on
hospital.
this? And like I had a tiny little crack, like, and I was like, oh man, that's bummer. And then I took it off and the whole back was just shattered. And like glass pieces were falling. And I'm like, I guess I'll take another phone if you have one of those too. And they're like, yeah,
Oh,
no
so you
problem.
got one right then. That's funny.
Yeah, it was bad. It wasn't even like I mean, it was in the case, so I didn't even notice it. And the camera worked fine, and it was.
I would have kept it then.
I I pay for the Apple Care and the cloud, all the crap that Apple wants you to pay for. I'm like, whatever,
Because you
sure,
do
take
things
my
like
money,
microwave technology by
right?
accident.
And so honestly, it took like 15 minutes, and they were like, oh yeah, do you have the? Oh, you have everything, great. And then
Yeah.
they just like handed me a new phone, which was identical to my old phone in terms of everything transferred immediately,
But
like
your
as soon as I
battery's
did it.
better.
Battery's way better now. I have a new phone
What a
essentially.
godsend.
So thanks, Brittany, for smashing my
It's
phone
like,
out of my hand accidentally.
oh my God. It's like you went to the auto shop and your car broke down while you were
Yeah, while I
there.
was there, or like no, it's like I went to the auto shop for like a new um mirror or something, and then while they were there, my engine exploded. And I was like, "Oh, do you have another car? Thanks."
That's great. Then
Yeah, it
you
was
definitely
great.
don't need a titanium. You got a new battery.
Right. Although I did the what's it called? The auto update program. Have you heard of that? Like
What, you just get a new phone whenever they drop one?
yeah, but you
Fun.
if you trade in your old one, you like commit to doing it a year prior or something. And so then it's like half the price or something like that. I can't remember what it is, but I signed up for
It's
it.
like, I trust you that the next one isn't going to snap in half. Ah, crap.
Well, that's the problem is that I was telling Brittany, but she just got like Brittany just got the new Apple Watch because her old one was dying. Like she said it was dying a ton. And she
My
couldn't even
ring just
wear it for
started
the
dying. It can't make it a whole day. I
bummer.
haven't tracked the past 2 nights and I don't know who I am.
Oh my God. Have you been
I know.
sleeping? Do you just
I have
stay
no
awake
idea.
staring at the button?
There's no one to tell me.
I mean, I blinked and it went from midnight to 8 a.m., but I don't know. I don't know if I was technically sleeping.
So Apple Watch was being crappy. Did
Oh,
you
so
get
she
the
just
big old fat one that
well,
saved your life in a
that's what
desert?
happened. Her birthday's at the end of August, and Apple drops their new whatever every year at the beginning of September.
Right.
And so it was annoying because she was like, "Oh, I wouldn't mind getting the 8, but the 9 is going to come out in a couple weeks." And I was like, "Yeah, we should see if it has any new stuff or if it's like that much better." And it really was not that much better at all. And the same thing with the iPhone 15 is not that much better than the 14. But I think
Yeah.
essentially, it used to be the new every year there'd be all this cool new
Another
gadget, gizmo,
lens.
whatever. Yeah, another 15th lens or it's a ninth blade on your shaver, or like anything. But now it feels like it's every 2 years, frankly. Like the 12 to the 14 seems big. 10 to 12 seemed big. Do you know what I mean? It seemed like
8 or 7 to 10 because they skipped 9.
right. That was a huge that's bizarre.
How,
Yeah, I don't know
I mean, I
why
guess
they
they
did
just thought
that.
X was cool. But I kind of,
It is
it's
cool.
been that I get it every 2 years, but
Right,
Maybe I'm
but
on the wrong years. I'm on the crap update years. Ugh.
well, either way, you're getting the cool update. You're getting 2 years worth of 2 years now is 1 year worth of update back. That's like inflation.
Just the
Innovation
standard.
inflation. In inflation.
Okay, so did she get the new watch or no?
So I got her the no, as soon as the new one came out, I got her the 8. The 9 just came out, so I got her the
The
8
eight's
because
probably
then
cheaper
the
now.
8 dropped, yeah, like $75 or $50 or something. And she says it's like worlds better. Although
Oh.
I inherited her old one, the Apple Watch 4 or whatever. So
Are we
I have been
friends?
tracking my sleep for the
What the
last
heck?
2-3 days.
We gotta connect. I send Brittany encouraging emoji all the time after her workouts, and she's like, "Stop it! You're weird. No one does this." And I'm like, "Well, why do they tell me you're working out if they don't want me to be pumped about it?"
That's true. That's better than it's like a more automated, more streamlined version of sending out a gym mirror selfie.
Yeah,
But it does, yeah. So you get a notification on your phone that says Max just finished a workout or Brittany just finished a
yeah,
workout.
and they
Does
even
it?
they say the type of workout too, and if it's a
Oh,
walk or something, they'll tell me how long the walk is,
wow.
how many calories burned on a functional fitness. I know. So if you
I
bump your watch, you just annoy all your friends with like a 2 second walk.
nice. I've tried to track my walks, my dog walks, but I've every like every 15 feet the watch is like, hey, are you did you pause your workout or what?
You can
Because
turn that off.
my dog stops every 10 seconds to like smell something or pee or whatever. So I'm not sure if it's a
Oh,
counts as like an outdoor walk, even though I am technically outdoors and I am technically walking. But it's not
it
like a
definitely
workout
counts.
walk, you know.
Also, you can tell your watch to shut up. I learned this because I did too many beer miles and I was sick of it trying to shut off while I was chugging.
How
You
slow are
can
you
tell it to stop
chugging?
asking you. I know, probably too slow. So you take your dog on a sniff, not a walk.
Yeah, he's very I drag him out of the house. He never wants to get out of bed. And then it's very funny because as we're going, if I do a loop from my house away from my house to um the furthest we get, I'm dragging him and he's very upset and he stops every 10 seconds. But then as soon as we're starting back
You can
towards my
tell that he's
house
he's
and
returning.
he's picking up and he's like bah, 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 bah. He's got like pep in his step and he's very excited to like I'm he's dragging me, my arm is fully extended on the leash in
And this
front of
doesn't
me.
change. He hates further and further away from the house, and as soon as it's back towards the house, he's pumped.
Yeah,
That's so
he's
funny.
very excited.
What
But
an
it's
introvert.
I know. I know, he's a funny guy.
Are you gonna dress him up for Halloween?
Ooh, great question. I'm gonna Google dog Halloween costumes right now.
Wait, no, come up with something good and I'll make it for him out of foam, please. Because
Oh my
I'm,
god.
yeah, I have a lot of leftover foam and I'm looking for stuff to make.
I have a lot of foam.
Your dog is wiener shaped. Do we want to lean into
Yeah,
making
like
him a hot dog
hot
or
dog. Like I'm ketchup, Brittany's mustard, and he's a hot dog, something like that.
that's great. I like that a lot. I feel like it's
He
pretty
doesn't
common though. What's an uncommon wiener shaped thing that we could make him?
right. Or there's the ones that are have you seen the ones that are like just the front of him?
Yeah,
I've,
so their front feet are the
the
legs and it's a
front feet are the
bipedal
legs, and
character.
there's little
Yeah,
foam arms, and then it looks great like walking towards. I just feel like it looks kind of dumb from the side.
of course. How do we change that? What's
He could
coming
be
out the
like
back of it?
he could be like the Flash, and then his body is like a trail of dust
Fire.
or whatever, fire. Yeah, you know what I mean,
Yeah,
something like that.
I
Or
like
he could be
that.
like a surfer, and his front two legs are the legs of the surfer, and the back is like a ocean wave or something. That might be. I don't know. It's a little tough. We'll workshop it. I don't know what he was last year. I think we just give him a bow tie. He has a bow tie and he has
That's
like a
adorable.
long tie, and we have him like be corporate jacks basically.
Mm. go
There's a
tuxedo
dog.
jacks.
There's a dog Halloween costume parade in the neighborhood near my house on Halloween. I just saw the poster for it.
Oh God,
I'm so
I bet a
excited.
lot of cool people go to that.
Oh yeah.
And they talk about how often and when their dog poops.
Yeah. What kind of dog is
How
that?
would you
Oh, how
not?
old is he? Oh,
Oh,
crazy.
but I know it.
All right. Well, see you later. That's so funny. We don't know
uh,
each other's names, but we know each other's dogs' names. Ha ha ha. All right. Well, see you tomorrow. That's it. That's the dog park conversation,
yep.
which is great. That's as deep as I want to get anyway.
Until Christine invites you to a dinner of the dog park people.
For
So
dogs or
imagine
for
meeting those
humans?
people. No, the dogs weren't even there. They all met
Why go?
after hours. I know. To talk about your dog, obviously, but with dinner.
Oh my god. I will say one of the biggest conversation pieces I ever encountered at the dog park was when I was wearing my continuous glucose monitor. People loved asking about that because I wasn't wearing the sticker. I was just wearing the button.
Really? Yeah, I just leave free balling it. What is
yeah.
Commando?
Commando.
People I found I ask less than they want to. Some people are bold and they're like, "Oh, I didn't know you were diabetic."
They think you're a diabetic, yeah. Exactly.
And then other people are like, "Something's wrong with her body. I shouldn't bring it up," because I know I would feel that way too. I would just be like, "You're normal. You're definitely normal. I'm not staring at your robot. You're normal."
Yeah, it's like a colostomy bag. You're like, so anyway, how about them Red Sox?
I think more people are familiar now because it's getting more ubiquitous, but not as much. Like,
right.
Oh, and I had a kid come up to me at an event. It was a YouTube event. You were there actually. And I was freeballing and he came over and he showed me his dad brought him over and was like, my son wanted to say hi, and he showed me his and was like, yeah, like we're diabetic friends. That's so cool. And I was like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And I want to be like,
stop. I think you're just like, that's awesome.
That's all that happened. And then I went back to bar. Like it was a human interaction version of a tweet, which I love, where you can just be like, yeah, you should feel good about yourself. I'm not going any deeper. And then we disconnect.
Right.
But still, there's that part of me that feels bad because I'm parading around as a diabetic person now. Like, what? That's bizarre.
I mean, you're not though. You're just wearing the thing. People are.
I know.
And
I wanted to be supportive. In reality, like,
you could have spread awareness of your position, which is I'm a fitness nerd. But his position
people get mad at that too.
Oh, really? Why?
So there's this Levels has dealt with backlash because there's this element where people are saying it's really hard for diabetics to get them. It's expensive. It doesn't get covered. And so if diabetics can't even get them, now you're taking them from us, which is not actually true from a logic and supply standpoint.
Yeah.
But there is this backlash where people are mad at non-diabetics using CGM because somehow that's harming diabetics.
I find that very difficult when there's clearly like a good reason for a group of people to be mad, but in fact they take it out at another group of people.
That's unrelated.
Wrong group of people. Like when people were getting mad about writers and actors going on strike, they were like, just shut up and work, like whatever. And I'm like,
yeah, you're screwing other lighting people.
You're mad at like a underpaid actor writer. You're not mad at the gigantic corporation that's not paying these people a fair livable wage. Like maybe you guys should go on strike and figure out, like, don't just because you're mad, please point that anger towards the appropriate party, not like another group that's trying to, I find that very difficult to deal with. How is Levels doing it? I mean, are they like stopping and explaining, or are they just like, whatever, we're Levels, ha ha ha?
I think they are definitely all about messaging and trying to navigate it by trying very hard, like a good corporation does.
Right. Like
startup. I don't know. They're not a corporation. Startup. Whatever.
I don't know. Well,
so what are you being for Halloween? Diabetic?
Good question. Not a diabetic, that's for sure. what was your favorite? I like dressing up in costumes for Halloween, but now given our jobs, the novelty of dressing up in a costume has certainly worn off. Like I dress up in a
Yeah, I do.
costume
It's like
once a
I
month.
wear a costume daily. You don't even know. It
Yeah, like and also like my closet is full
feels
of
like work.
like I have a Jesus costume and I have like an electrician and a pilot and a doctor and all this dumb stuff that over the years
Yeah.
I have like a hula costume and a mermaid costume. Like I have all this stuff. And so the idea of like, oh, what are you gonna dress up as? I'm like, for what? This my video this week? Oh, for Halloween. Yeah. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I
And
don't
I have a
know.
list of all 68 of them that I have. Like,
Oh my god, that's
so I
even
could
crazier.
be one of the things that someone else has seen me in.
Yeah. What's your favorite one you've ever done for yourself?
My my bankrupt cartoon where I was a naked cartoon for sure. But that was I actually built the thing for a video.
Yeah. I liked the barrel. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Because the idea behind it is that, every time a cartoon goes bankrupt or somehow loses all their money, they're clearly naked, but they can't be naked on screen.
Right.
So they wear a barrel, which are actually expensive. So that's silly. I went to buy a
A
barrel and
a
they're like
barrel
300
with
plus dollars.
suspenders. That's
Straps.
so
Yeah.
funny. Yeah, that's such a funny like idea that they were
I'm
like
so
that.
poor that I don't have clothes. I gotta wear a barrel.
I know
And
because
then
they
the
had
idea of Halloween, the whole thing is girls just wear lingerie or as little as possible. And so
right,
my sexy version is that I'm naked, but a cartoon.
right. Slutty cat or a slutty mouse or whatever, slutty cheese.
That's a duo costume. You're with
That's
your slutty
such
mouse
cat.
friend, and
Well, it just keeps expanding. However big your friend group is: cheese, mouse, cat, dog, and then I don't know,
slutty
human.
human. I'm going as a slutty human for Halloween.
A slutty human who
Honestly.
owns a cat and a dog.
What's your favorite?
I did one. Do you remember the movie Sin City in
Yeah,
as a
black and
comic
white,
book
and then some
movie?
red. Yeah.
So I was the guy with all the bandages on his arms.
Hmm.
Because it was good because it was surprisingly easy to make yourself sort of black and white. I had just jeans, a white wife beater tank top, and then all those bandages, and then I sprayed my hair all white. Um,
Cool.
and then I would splatter myself with blood. And so the red really did pop. It looked really good. And it was super easy-ish to do. And I was sleeveless, obviously. So that was really fun.
Yeah.
And I just had like squares of athletic tape all over me. It was awesome.
Yeah, that's cool.
I will say the one thing about blood splattering yourself is you're going to want to do it in the shower because if you
Mm-hmm.
don't, what I would do is I would flick it or I'd put it on a spoon and like flick it at myself like that. And then I was doing it. I was in New York visiting my friends for Halloween, and I just splattered their entire bathroom, and I didn't even realize it. And the next day they were like, "So did anyone have like an accident in the bathroom? Like, because there's blood on the ceiling." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, that was me. My bad. Sorry about that." And they're like, "Are you all right?" And I'm like, "No, yeah, it was fake blood. It's Halloween." And they were like, "Oh, right." That one was really easy. Although the problem was nobody knew who I was because nobody saw the movie. And by the time I was doing it, the movie had been out for like 4 or 5 years or whatever. So
Yeah, I was gonna say it's got to be timely, but you got to be sleeveless. See, that's the key. Is that
yeah.
that's why women are doing lingerie. You got to show off. You got to if you're a dude, you got to show off the physique. If you're
Hmm.
me, you got to show off that you're made out of wood.
Yeah. You did that. You remember you did Lilu from The Fifth Element?
Yeah, that was definitely physique showing offing.
That was
Basically,
physique.
those bandages you put on your arm, that's my whole outfit.
I know. And shout out to that movie for just putting that girl in
Straps.
bandages, straps for no
And shout out
reason.
to Amazon who having those straps for like $10. And let me tell you, they were $10 quality for sure. So imagine just your delicate parts being covered by a very cheap strap.
Yeah,
It's
it's
fine. I
great.
survived.
It's great. It's a great Halloween. night because everyone's like their clothes are just falling apart, and it's great Halloween morning. The next morning when everyone's doing the walk of shame home as like a disheveled nurse or whatever when they went out as a put together nurse,
put together nurse. Transformation. My orange hair is smeared all over my bandages.
Yeah,
I painted a Nerf gun for
it
that
looked
too.
great. I didn't realize you made the costume. I thought you for sure. I thought Amazon would sell that costume.
No, that's what I was saying. Amazon did sell it. I bought the costume. I made the gun.
Okay.
And then you that year were Baberaham Lincoln.
Oh yeah, I was just Abe Lincoln with no sleeves. So stupid.
Gotta show off the physique.
Oh, that was. I mean, it's a good move. And you know what? Actually, it's probably the only time of year I actually like puns, because Babe Lincoln is not a real thing unless someone's standing there in a Lincoln costume with no sleeves on, and you're like
a physical representation of a pun. That's funny.
All right. Yeah. There's all puns are huge. It's pun costumes are huge. That's a physical representation of a pun is exactly what it is, and it's so stupid, but it works.
It's great. What do you mean? So how do we turn Jax into a pun?
Well, hot dog is right there, obviously.
Yeah.
I don't know. I struggle with the dog costume a little bit because I feel bad because it's such a good chance that the dog will not, in fact, like the costume.
Oh no, of course not. They're miserable.
Although sometimes I know, like I know that he likes being in a jacket or sweater or whatever because it definitely makes him warmer
and like cozy
and like tucked and like held almost. It's like a what are those like jackets?
Weighted called? Blanket. Weighted blanket. Like a thunder jacket. I think that's what they call it for dogs. Okay, I got an idea. Well, I'll do one of those front ones where his feet are the feet, and then make a bodybuilder arm so he's like flexing in the front, and he'll be a Stanimal animal.
Oh, I like that. I thought you were gonna say Jax.
Jax. Also works.
Animal. I mean, it's already a little repetitive. Stanimal is a combination.
Yeah, it's already its own pun portmanteau.
That's a good
idea.
This
year, everybody's going to be Ken and Barbie.
Oh yeah, for sure, no question. Ugh. Which isn't terrible.
No, as long as it's done well. Good. They have those on Amazon. We've seen them because right, for our jobs, people dress up to go to movies.
Right, we did. We just dressed up in neon. We didn't have the full costume yet.
Pink on, which I should have. Maybe I'll just be. I have full military gear, army specifically.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'll just be yeah.
How will anyone know? I always wanted to wear a ghillie
I'm
suit.
G.I. Joe. What? Just a bathing suit.
A ghillie suit, which is that fur like it looks like a whole suit of grass or
That's still in my Amazon cart because you brought it up. You said it, and I was like, "Wow, I need one of these."
It looks awesome. It looks like it'd be super fun to wear. And then if you don't want to do anything, you're just like you just slump down somewhere.
You should get a George Bush mask and then wear a ghillie suit and then drink Bush beer the whole night.
Right, but what would I do for Halloween? Ha ha ha.
It's like you're a Tuesday.
Clock it in. My friend was Frankenstein one year, and he's a professional artist, graphic illustrator. So he painted he made his own gigantic forehead hat out of something, and then painted it on himself with makeup. And he's a big dude. He's like 6'4", I think, and he wore like platform shoes, so he was like almost 7 feet tall, and he was just walking around, and it was awesome. And all night you'd be like, there's Morgan, he's up there, like you can find him in a crowd easily. And
over you.
He'd hand me beers and stuff like over people. It was so funny. That was a good costume.
That's awesome. So you got to play into your size too,
right?
So what character is our size? Wait, here are the rules. You have to show off your physique, and it has to fit you as typecast.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's it. I'm going Lilu again. There,
Yeah, you got to be Lilu.
Or Sarah Connor.
I did Thor one year, and that was great because I realized he's one of the only superheroes with no sleeves, generally. So that was
Perfect.
perfect.
Oh, or what's the one from Boys where he's kind of Aquaman? You could be him too, and he's like,
oh yeah,
annoying.
the Deep.
Yeah, the Deep.
Aquaman was easy for that one year because it was just pants and a wig and tattoos. You know, his superhero costume was just like wet jeans.
Had to go in the bathroom to re-wet so people could get it.
Myself. Yeah, exactly. The annoying thing about Thor was when I was wearing the costume, they'd be like, "Oh, sweet, you're a Spartan," and then I'd have to like hold up the hammer, and they'd be like, "Oh, you're Thor," you know. And I'm realizing like, well, I guess that's all Thor is. That's he just has a hammer. Otherwise, he's a Greek, Spartan, Roman, whatever costume.
Yeah.
I was mad at how many people got that wrong. Did I ever tell you the story about one of the first parties I went to right when I moved to LA was a Halloween party, and it was a bunch of YouTubers that I hadn't ever met before. And one of the guy who hosted the party was dressed up as Ruby Rod from The Fifth Element, the Chris Tucker. He was in the full fur suit.
Oh, with the cool.
Fur, and he looked incredible. And I was like, I love the movie The Fifth Element. So he comes out and I'm like, oh my God, dude, that costume's so sick. That's amazing. Did you make that, or is that custom? It's incredible. And it was me and the guy, Ruby Rod, in the costume, and somebody else. And the other person was like, oh, I don't, what are you? I don't even know what that is. And the guy who was in the costume was like, oh, I'm from, and I was like, you're Ruby Rod from The Fifth Element. And he was like, oh, yeah, exactly. What? And I was like, who are these people? What party am I in? Who are these poser loser jerk offs that I'm like, what is this party? This is the stupidest thing in the world. This guy like went all out for some costume. He doesn't even know what it is. You know, like this bizarre. I'm like, what is, and then I was just like, this party sucks. I was really bummed out.
It's funny.
But anyway, so I guess that's the rule is Fifth Element has a lot of good. It's a lot of awesome costumes.
Yeah, there you go.
Thor's a good one. Jesus is always a good choice because then you can just
borrow my Jesus. So you have one too? Yeah, Jesus is always
a Jesus costume. My Jesus
and you
costume
just wear a little cloth.
Right. My Jesus costume is a wig, a long brown hair wig, and then if you really want to go all out, you can have the thorn crown or whatever. But
which I do from that music video.
Oh yeah, that's right.
If you really want
that's right. I was Jesus.
Angry. Yeah.
I forgot and you opened
champagne, or you turned a jug of water into champagne.
I know, that would be the sweetest power.
So,
but I was fully clothed Jesus.
Yeah.
Whereas
you want to be naked Jesus.
If you want to show off the physique, you want to be naked Jesus for sure.
So in a past year, I was Buzz Lightyear. My favorite is getting a kid's costume because that Buzz Lightyear. No, not Buzz. That's a good pun. I do like that. No, I got a kid's costume, and you cram yourself into it, so then it's definitely showing off your physique. And I had to cut the middle so that my abs are out, and then I got these little shorty shorts on. And
hot Buzz Lightyear is a relatively common slutty girl costume. Did you know that? Surprisingly common.
Well, I was trying.
Woody. That's another one. Slutty Woody.
Hot Woody.
Hot Woody. Excuse me.
Slutty Woody. Hot Woody. We are definitely gonna get demonetized for what we're saying.
Any of the Greek gods, that was an easy one. Although there is something about like a little kid, something like sexually confusing about a hot version of a thing that you watched as a little kid.
Sexy Gumby, yeah.
Yeah, sexy Barney the dinosaur.
I'm definitely doing that now.
Sexy Blue's Clues or Dora the Explorer. That's a huge one. We know a person that does a Dora the Explorer.
That's her actual thing on TikTok, and her name is Hora the Explorer.
That's right. I forgot about it.
Wow.
It's that's a weird one. It's a weird little it's confusing boner, as they say. But what would be like the worst Like sexy what? Like Big Bird? It's awful. Sexy Snuffleupagus. There it is.
Yep, that's it. That's the
There it is.
one.
That's a ghillie suit, basically.
Yeah. So with the stomach out. Let's give it a little
Snuffleupagus
haircut.
with a bare midriff. Yeah, that's good. I'm Snuffleupagus.
Uh,
Um, there's a lot of good superheroes you could be because girl superheroes are inherently drawn in slutty costumes just because they were appealing to adolescent boys, and girls playing boy version of those things is inherently also kind of slutty, like a girl Hulk, slutty Hulk, She Hulk.
I did that one year for Halloween, but in photo only. I dressed as
really?
actually the Flash to go out, but on Instagram, I used Photoshop to change my flesh to green. Also, I was just wearing a pair of shorts, like
Right, that's it. Purple shorts.
topless, blurred it, turned myself green, purple
Smart.
shorts.
Very
Yeah,
smart.
so that worked on Instagram, but
Does it work the other way? Can I be a girl? Like, could I
yes,
be
in
Jessica Rabbit, but a guy? Do you know what I mean? That
I
doesn't
call
work, does it?
sexy whatever. What's the rabbit's name? I'll be that with you.
Roger?
Roger. I'll be sexy Roger. I've already got the glasses. Does he have glasses? It feels like he would wear
You gotta
these.
get the teeth.
Sweet.
I don't think it works that way. Or maybe it's just that I'm less attracted. My attraction spectrum is certainly skewed one way versus the other.
I'm just imagining you in a sleeveless purple dress. That works.
Well, she has the arms, those the gloves.
Yeah, you got gloves all the way up
So
here.
it is sleeves. It is
Or
only
arms.
it's my luckily my
Just
delts
sleeves.
luckily my delts are exposed. Thank God. That's the most important part. I don't think that worked. Like are there guy Tomb Raiders? You know what I mean? Or
right. I did do Tomb Raider. That's a common one. That's easy. You just wear shorts and
did you do the cone shaped boobs or no? Is that too niche for you?
sorry, I made myself out of geometric shapes because I was low poly at the time.
That's funny. That's really funny. I mean, we would be. It would be a huge misstep not to mention our favorite costume of all time, which was the night we were in West Hollywood, and you were Lulu and I was Babe Lincoln, and we went to that party. Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Yeah, and this person made the logo for Les Mis, but it was their face, and it was 3-dimensional, but looked like 2 dimensions in a photo. I'm mad you're bringing this up because I'm like, there's no way we can describe this to the listeners.
It
Even
was
if we
like
had
it was the movie poster of Les Mis with
but over his
textured.
face. Yeah.
And so she walked around in a giant movie poster sized thing with only her face sticking out of it, and her face had
But it wasn't flat. It would like you said, it was textured. It was like 2.5D, so it had depth.
Yeah, it was like
but in photos, it looked like you were looking at this lush movie poster, and it was exactly the logo.
And then her face would you'd be like, "Oh, cool, that's a movie poster of Les Mis," and she's like, her face would
blink
wake up and be like, "Thanks, it took me a while," and you're like, "Whoa!"
She definitely worked in theater or production of some sort, like a
1,000,000%.
prop maker.
Yeah, she was incredible.
Yeah,
I'm mad we only got like one half of one picture with her, I think. Also kind of a weird party that we just sort of crashed. You remember that?
I know, we should do that again. Why not?
I mean, should we? I don't know. I feel like I've had a good experience with it, but then I read stories about like people getting kidnapped or hikers getting murdered or whatever just because they're walking wrong or they're like walking in a public place, and I'm like, well, I just like went into a Halloween party because I heard some music. I hope that's okay.
Turns out it was that time, but maybe not later.
That time it was great. That was fun.
Oh, people are going to be Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift a lot too.
For sure. That's timely, for sure.
I know. I have a football helmet. I'm doing a music video that includes them, so I could be either or both. I was thinking about
Half and half.
Wearing a like fringy, sparkly dress that I have, and then a football helmet.
Oh, okay.
An
Too
eye
bad you
black.
can't go like
Oh yeah, cut the
vertical
football helmet
half
in
and
half.
half.
Oh, I definitely need to do that. That's expensive. I was gonna return the football helmet. It's a real one. It's
No,
a real
don't do the
used football helmet.
helmet because the helmet would block your face a little bit. All you really
But
need to do
imagine
is the
half a football
mustache.
helmet, and
I
then
know that
half
would
is
look
my
incredible.
hair is done. I cut myself bangs, obviously, to commit to the bit, but only
Obviously.
half bangs. So this side of my
Right. Oh my God, only half bangs.
oh Lord.
Ugh.
Well, fitheads, tell us what you're going to be for Halloween. Let us know in the comments because we need to steal your ideas, but sleeveless answers only.
Sleeveless costumes. It's it should they should all be sleeveless, really.
And for Halloween, you should be someone who reviews our podcast on Apple. That really helps us out a whole lot. And we'll see you next week.